What's up, Fudsters, and welcome to episode 3 of WTF What the Fud. This is a podcast where we give you those WTF moments of clarity as we reveal professional blueprints and strategies that can help you with your career growth. I'm your host, Fud, and I'm fired up for today's episode because for the first time we have a C-suite level professional as our guest. But before I introduce her, just a word from our sponsors. I'd like to thank TBC Create Homes for lending us their showroom here to make this podcast possible. So TBC Create Home is looking to transform your living and workspace, whether it's a cozy apartment or a bustling office. They are your go-to partners. They specialize in interior design and renovation, working with both residential and commercial budgets. That means they can bring your vision to life no matter the scale or scope of your project. From conception to completion, TBC Create Homes focus on quality, creativity, and making your dream space a reality. Check them out on the link below and do tell them that you got this referral from WTF podcast and you get some discounts. Now, with that, I'm excited to introduce our guest for today. And reason being is because her journey is really fascinating. She's really young and she's already hit the C-suite level. So I'm really honored to have Farah on board the show. Welcome to the show, Farah.
Hello, hi. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for taking the time. So I'm just going to give you a quick introduction. I know you are very modest, but I'm going to just give you a quick introduction and then we'll deep dive into it. So Farah, she is a tech entrepreneur, a community builder, a mother of 3, all while being on this incredible mission to bridge faith and technology for the global Muslim Ummah. Imagine leading a company like Muslim Pro to 170 million users and securing a huge $20 million Series A. So that was all under her leadership. And I can attest to that because I was using Muslim Pro before she held leadership there, and she makes so much changes and so interactive, but we'll deep dive more into that. But now Farah is now charting a new territory with Chat and even building an AI-powered mental wellness app called Hira, which was launched earlier this year. Plus, she's investing in a lot of cool stuff, which we're going to deep dive throughout our conversation. So Farah is all about building products that genuinely makes a difference in people's life. So I can't wait to dive into her experience and let's try to gather all of the wisdom that we can and help with their career growth. So Farah, thank you for your time. I'm really honored for you to make time. I know you're really busy, so really appreciate for this moment. So let's just tell our listeners, let's start off with your career journey. Like, how do you start from the start of your career to where you are right now?
Wow, where do I start? So, I think you know me, Fat, for a while now, right? So, I've always been a bit of a go-getter, right? So, I think it all starts with me taking my degree while working, actually. So, I shouldn't recommend this, but for me, I feel that that's the reason why I got a head start as opposed to many people. So at 18, I started working at Pearson Education, which is a publishing company. I know you know the Penguin books.
Yes. So I know her way back then.
Hey, really, you do?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So I thought it was a bit nearer. Okay, so anyway, so I started then at 18 years old. So then first as marketing, and then after which I went into business development. So I was knocking on different schools, secondary, primary schools, trying to sell textbooks to the HODs and the principals. So that's how I started my career. So I was there for 5 years, and then I moved to Danone. So I don't know if you know what's Danone, but Danone is actually all the French products essentially. So all the Evian water, the baby milk, yogurt and whatnot. But I was in the Evian division. So in Danone, I was in charge of bringing Evian to APAC region basically. So the Vietnam, Singapore, basically Southeast Asia, and also Korea, Australia also. So that was my role. And then after that, I went to, where did I go to? It's a long career, guys. It's like it's been I think about 20 years of career.
19 years and C-suite. That's how good she is.
That's a long time actually. I should have done it in 10 years.
I'm 20 years and still I'm not
Hello,
even at that
19
level.
and 20 is not that far, okay? But that's why I said, I think the key was I started earlier, you see, so that's why it just gives me that head start. After that, I think I went to a few roles. Far East Organization was one of them as the GM of FMB, and then I also went back to Danone to be the regional lead for what was the product? I think it was Alpro. I don't know if you've heard of Alpro brand.
No.
It's basically almond milk.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Alright.
for those who are lactose intolerant, so then they will go for.
Yeah.
So I was in charge of that also. And then after that, one fine day, I got a call to say, hi, we're looking for someone who can actually help us to open up new features, new markets, but it's in a slightly different context. So instead of markets where it's like Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia, is instead to open up a new feature within the tech space, basically. So that was Muslim Pro, basically. So I got a call from the main shareholder at that point of time. So they said, okay, we're looking for someone. I know it's a little bit different, where it's not really a tech, you've not been in tech, but what we want is someone who could help us to open the different features and different business verticals, essentially. So I said, okay, why not? You know, at first I was a bit worried, but then after that I said, okay, why not? And I didn't come in as a CEO, actually. So I was brought in as the managing director first. So managing director, so I came in to assess where we're at, and then to recommend what is the next vertical that we should go into next. And then within 1 year, I was asked whether I would like to be a co-CEO with together with my colleague then, Nick Amer. So yeah, and I took on the role, and that's where I was.
Okay.
Yes.
And now where you are?
Okay, so I was with Muslim Pro for about 4.5 years. And then after which, just early this year, January, I left Muslim Pro. So the reason why I left is because for me, I think I wanted to transition to a little bit something different in my life. So as you know, and you've mentioned just now, I have 3 young kids.
Yes.
So I thought that, you know, I mean, I was coming back, I think 8 o'clock every night, going off at about 6:30 all the way to 8 o'clock every night, and seeing my kids just to go to bed. So I thought, okay, I think it's about time that I try something different. So I got an offer from Dubai to actually work remotely, but to help build the next Telegram for the Muslim world. So this is
Oh,
MMChat. So
okay.
MMChat, its vision is to be the next Telegram and WeChat, but for the Muslims. So I thought that was very interesting. It gives me a step into the Middle East market, but it also allows me very valuable time, flexibility at home with my kids. So of course I have to go back and forth Dubai, but having said that, I thought it was a really good opportunity for me to basically tick off whatever that I wanted. And then at the same time, it allows me to dabble into different things. Like I've always wanted to try business. My husband is a businessman, as you know. So he has always encouraged me. So I thought, okay, why not? You know, let's try. So that's why I built another app for the Muslim wellness space. And then now I'm also dabbling in a few other projects, helping people essentially to build something for the Muslim community. And that's my aim, actually, to really help different groups of people to create something meaningful for the Muslims, so that Muslims can carry out the Islamic way of life through technology. Yeah, so that was what I wanted. Yeah.
Nice. That's beautiful story.
Thank you.
So I do want to deep dive into, you were saying that you so-called got headhunted, right? For Muslim Pro, and you didn't start out as CEO. You started out as the managing director. Now, how did they actually find your profile to reach out to you? Is it through the networks or through just random looking at LinkedIn? So how does that happen? Tell us.
Yeah, actually, I mean, this was about 5 years ago. And I think it's a bit different. Now we see things like TikTok, we see now things like LinkedIn that is so prominent out there, and then people network all the time. But honestly, they got me through a headhunter, you know, like those recruiter agency.
Yeah.
So they basically gave a profile, and then the recruiters actually looked through different people, I guess, and then they landed on me. So back then, I mean, honestly, I was a strict corporate person. I don't really network, you know,
Yeah, you
for me.
really
Yeah, I
network.
do. And honestly, I still am a little bit averse to it a little bit now. But honestly, I was very corporate. So basically, go to work, do whatever that that needs to be done, and then come home, So that's how I've always been. LinkedIn also, I never did post anything on LinkedIn.
Precisely, yeah.
Until I was with Muslim Pro, when I had a team that says, Farah, you're now representing a brand. No one knows about us. We need to show the faces behind the brand. So that's when I started updating my LinkedIn, started to network a bit more with the likes of Mendaki, with the Muslim Malay organizations in Singapore. But yeah, prior to that, it was strictly a recruiter who came to headhunt me. Yeah.
Wow.
I think it was. I remember it was. I think it was Michael Page, if I'm not wrong.
Michael Page, yeah.
Yes, I think it's Michael Page. Yeah.
And they got your profile through LinkedIn, is it? Or
no, I
you
think no, because prior to this, Michael Page placed me in Danone actually. So they saw my evolution. I kept close contact with the recruiter.
Yeah.
She also rise up the ranks. She was from like a key account manager. She became the VP of Michael Page and everything.
Okay.
So we rose up together, and then she thought of me when they said, okay, I wanted someone that's very good with business development, market expansion, but not from tech, and someone Muslim. Yeah. So because prior to this, Muslim Pro wasn't founded by a Muslim actually. So actually a lot of people don't know. But actually the real founder, the initial founder 14 years ago, was a French guy. So he was an ex-Googler, if I'm not wrong. So what happened was, this was the time when there was no smartphone. Internet was really difficult, if you recall, 14 years back, right? So, but I think he saw the opportunity. He was saying, why are people going to newspapers and televisions to just wait for the azan? All of this could be calculated prior and everything. So that's when he started to develop this feature, and then eventually turning it into an app. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I think we're seeing a theme here with all of my other guests as well. Connection really plays an important role. But with Farah, I think it's not only connection, because she knows she's been close with the recruiter, and they rose up the rank. I think it's also a testament of the work that she does. And I can attest to that, because I know her since our younger days. And then when we go out, I remember we went to like 7-Eleven or something, and then your branding, your Danone, like was it even? Why is it not in front? And she was like rearranging it, putting the products all in front. And I was like,
I was a bit Kemaro,
Yeah. but that's the thing, because she is so into her work, and people can see that, and then and word will spread around. If you're good at what you do, people know you. That's how you land into such roles. Now, I do wanna quickly touch on Muslim Pro, because and this is what's so amazing about Farah here, because I actually used Muslim Pro before she was the CEO, and I used that. It was just to look at prayer timings. That's all. But when you onboarded, now I can see why it rose up to 170 million users. Because the things that you put in there, like you have Callbox,
the Muslim Netflix.
It's the Muslim Netflix. And the interface were all user friendly. So I was just wondering, because you don't come from that world, right? You come from the business development world, sales world. I know Danone really well, because I used to work with Danone in that industry. So what actually shaped you into like having all of these ideas? Because obviously when implementing all this, it has to go through at the CEO level. That's the vision, right? I know the people are the one who are executing it. But that vision, like, how did it help you having that experience in sales?
No, I think everything relates to the user or the consumer, and I think working from Danone for 8 years has taught me that, right? Everything is about the user actually. So even though sometimes we think tech is so difficult, so you're the expert in tech, you know better, but it's actually all still up to the user. Like, what is the user intuition, right? When they're using something, do they want to swipe right, swipe left? Do they want to enlarge it like that, or they want to? How do they use it? It's all up to the user. So I think at that point of time, me not coming from the tech background was an advantage, because here I am entering into a team of boys, who's all the techies, and then they're like, okay, this is what we can do, this is what we can do, and then I don't understand a thing. So I remember in a meeting, every single meeting that I went when I first joined Muslim Pro, there I was with my handphone. And last time there wasn't ChatGPT, right? So
Yeah.
you can imagine it was a bit difficult. So what I did was every single thing that they say, okay, I had to Google it and read through articles just to understand what it is. To the point that I told the tech boys, I said, you know, if I don't understand what you're trying to do, explain it in a way that anyone can understand. If I don't understand, it means that the product will not work exactly like that. Because I'm your typical user, you know, and actually, even though I'm already bad as a, you know, I don't even know how to use all the most advanced technology or the features and everything. I said most users are like me and worse, because we're also catering to the 50-year-old, 60-year-old, 70-year-olds, right? So I said, if I can't understand it, if I don't know how to use it without you explaining so much about it, then it's not going to work. So that's one of the things that I have in mind, and my team knows whenever they come to me, they will always have to prepare themselves with like layman term, you know. Okay, it's really funny. I still remember there was a story. I think they were trying to explain to me the term sharding. So sharding, because you know Muslim Pro, every Ramadan we have 3 times more number of users that's coming to the app the first day of Ramadan, because everyone wants to know when to buka, right? So there was 1 year is going to be at 12 million. We're anticipating 12 million user in a day. So what happened predominantly is that it always crashes because it's too big, right? So then they said, okay, Farah, we're going to do this process of sharding. Now, so what's this sharding, right? And they say it's going to be expensive, but it's going to be worth it. We're not going to crash. I said, what do you mean? So they said, okay, you know, Farah is like having, now it's all one kitchen and there's 10 items in a menu. So they're all working hard to just, you know, these 10 orders are coming in. A lot of people are ordering these 10 different items in one kitchen. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to make it into different kitchens, so that whenever an order comes in, it goes to a specific menu that the kitchen is specialized in, and then it's faster, you know. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's a good explanation. So it's just like that every day in Muslim Pro. It's all about explaining things in layman, and then making sure that when we put out the product out there, the users know how to use it. And then secondly, I thought that when I looked through Muslim Pro, I felt that the issue is that we have so many people that is on Muslim Pro, but the issue is that no one really knows about the user. If it's a guy, if it's a girl, we don't know, because we do not collect data, user data, nor do we make sign-ups mandatory. You know, you can use it for free, right?
Yeah.
So so I said, you know, we know nothing about them except that they come for prayer times and they read what surah is their favorite. Like, what can I derive from a surah, right? Like, what Al-Baqarah means you are in trouble, I don't know. You know, so this kind of thing. So I said, we need to inject content. Because through injection of content, that's when you are able to learn what is it people are clicking on. Is it fintech in Islam? Is it education of kids? Is it just the Quran? What is it that they really want? So that's when I started to really inject quite a bit of content, and that accelerated our user even more. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, interesting. So I think this is good for our users to know. Like, if you don't have the background in that, but you are willing to learn and also trying to understand from a user perspective, because I think that's really interesting, because that's how you get people to use the app, right? And you coming in at that layman mindset, and especially it can be daunting as well, because you come in not knowing anything. You'll be scared as well to say, you tend to keep quiet because you don't want to seem as not the smart one in the room.
Honestly, it happened to me so many times that I said the wrong thing and like a pin drop. Like, I think they were just being nice. No one called me out on it. But honestly, I knew I just asked like a nonsensical question or like obvious question, but honestly it doesn't matter. I think that's the most important. I think how I rise up the rank is that I hang on to this philosophy that it's better to be visible than to be invisible, you know. So even if you're saying the wrong things, even if you make a fool of yourself, you can always just say, okay, but it's okay, I'm learning. I'm seeing it from a different perspective. You can always be the sales guy in there, right? Just try to spin it a bit. But if you don't ask, you will never know. That's one. And people will never see you also, right? Because you're always scared, shy, or whatever, that what you're saying is the wrong thing. In fact, I have personally made a fool of myself so many times with my team, when I have meetings with Googlers, you know, these tech guys, everything, you know, when they're inviting us, or Facebook. So many times I ask all the questions that is obvious, but well, it's okay. I just want to learn it, right? And I just tell myself it's okay. I want to know. So
Yeah.
they just have to answer me.
I think this is really good for our listeners as well, because a lot of time, right, when you're in a meeting room, not knowing what they're talking about, you tend to be quiet because you're just too scared to speak up, to ask the wrong things, to just make a fool out of yourself. But look at Farah. What was the quote you were saying?
Be visible, rather be visible than invisible.
Yes, so rather be visible than invisible. I think that's really good, because then people will take notice of you, one thing. It's not for the wrong reason, because you are trying to understand, trying to learn. So I guess that is an important lesson for a lot of our mid-level professionals, or the high-level professionals, to really not be scared in the room, and just ask questions. Because I do know a lot of times, especially our Malay Muslim community, because we don't really tend to voice out, we tend to be quite quiet in the room, especially when we do not know what the discussion is all about. We just tend to keep everything to yourself. So be visible. That's the important thing. All right. Just quickly, do tell us about your current role. I know you're in Chat. You're saying that it's the Muslim Telegram. So just give us an overview about that role.
Okay, so actually for me, I've transitioned a little bit. So Chat is one of the projects, but essentially how I see myself right now is helping basically Muslim businesses or anything that's related to the Islamic world, right? Be it be halal food, be it be modest fashion, be it be cosmetics that is one way or the other halal or whatever, right? Islamic finance. So for me, I think from Muslim Pro, I realized that the market that we're serving is niche, but so huge in terms of opportunities, because we're talking about upcoming 2 billion Muslims. So it's niche, but it's not really niche, right? So, and I realized so many people do not understand it, and a lot of mainstream companies out there, be it be PR company, paid advertising company, digital advertising companies, they're all like they don't understand this Muslim ecosystem, right? So I think for me, my mission since I left Muslim Pro is really to help bridge this gap, and to really help these businesses cater to the Muslim audience in one way or the other. And if it means that they have to build a website, or they have to do, how do they get reach in terms of digital advertising, or how do they, I mean, I'm no influencer, but basically I do know what it takes to get reach, not in terms of virality, but in terms of the paid organic, or paid growth kind of methods, right? So yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. So Chat is one of them. Chat is based in Dubai. So their vision is to build an app that is like the Telegram or the WeChats, but for the Muslim world. So essentially, is where Muslims can speak freely, in a safe environment, because there's still quite a lot of moderation, but there will be no oppression in terms of what they want to say, who they want to give du'as to, who they want to donate to, and everything. So this is what I've been working on with the Emiratis and the guys there.
All right. Okay. All right. We're gonna go for a short break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about the app that she has created, and also to if for our listeners who wants to go into app development, you have an idea on how to do so. Let's deep dive into that, how you can build your own app, how you monetize it, and so forth. So we'll come back after this. All right, welcome back. So we've just spoken to Farah, and she have just laid out about her career journey, and how is it to be at a C-suite level making all of these decisions. A really good advice that she gave was be visible and not invisible. So that's something that I think a lot of our listeners would want to take it to heart, especially when you're in a meeting room. If something that you do not understand, like, just ask questions. So at least you can understand like what it's all about, and you're visible as well. Now, with that, I think this segment, what I want to talk about is your new app, Hira app. Tell us about your app, and then do tell us about like what got you into trying to build an app. How do you even start to build an app? So,
Yeah. No, I mean, I've always loved building, So it's not just something. It comes from the fact of me seeing. It comes from the view of me seeing these developers build something from nothing to a feature that's being used by so many people that benefits many people. And I've always said to my team, if our app is beneficial to even one Muslim, imagine the barakah that we get from that, So that's where I really felt that after I love Muslim Pro, I will not go to, inshallah, I will not go to any other industry that is not related to the Muslim ecosystem, right? So for me, when I was there, I mean, there was so much talk about mental wellness. There was so much talk about, okay, I'm feeling down here. What doa do I baca? What quote can make me feel better? And I don't know about you. For me also, when I'm feeling like, for example, if I'm facing something, I tend to get comfort from seeing Instagram, for example, certain quotes or certain du'as and everything. So I thought, if there was something that I want to make out there, is something to cater to this audience. And I think it's going more and more. People think that mental wellness is a sickness, and it is a sickness, but it's actually people are faced with this in every part of their life. You don't need to have a mental wellness, issue in order to feel sad sometimes or depressed sometimes, or life is up and down, right? So whenever there's a problem, that's when you feel. But isn't it awesome if there is a space where you can go to that will give you stories, give you motivations, give you quotes, give you all that you need to overcome this in the Islamic way. So actually I was inspired also by the likes of Calm and Headspace, where they actually provide all these resources for people to sleep. It's a simple thing as making your sleep better, right? But for us, why can't we have like zikir, or hasbunallah or something like that to let us sleep better, So I thought, kenapa sekarang we have to go to YouTube? Why must we go YouTube, go and find Instagram and everything? What if there is everything in one place? And I also heard something quite disturbing actually over the radio the other day. So they were saying that a lot of Muslims think that if they have mental wellness issues, for example, if they have depression, it means diorang tak beriman enough. But that's not true at all, It's like, again, everyone is tested differently, and you are at a different part of your faith, a different part of life, and you are faced with that. So sometimes I also realise through all this stigma, people think, oh, you tak beriman, sebab tu you sedih-sedih like that, or you're not strong enough to overcome this. I feel like there's a lot of stigma around it, and sometimes people do not know who to go to. I think especially for I think ladies have is easier. I feel, I don't know, I'm making a blanket statement here, but I feel ladies, they have a tendency to talk to other girlfriends, to talk to their best friends. They open up everything, right? A to Z, what's happening. But
men,
what
we have
the men?
like an
Yes,
armor.
I see like all the men always okay, main bola je lah, atau main golf, atau apa-apa jadi, forget it, Alali we just realise, oh, actually he is facing something. I have a few friends all like that also. So I'm like, why don't you talk to other people, And they're like, buat apa nak berbual, So, and then I also read a report recently, it's also affecting a lot of children. Macam we see now a lot of cases about children tak tahu apa ni, what is Islam, they're questioning, but they're also like, oh, my parents are stressing me out kat sekolah, I'm not like the TikToker, this kind of thing. So I feel like there's a lot of places where people tak tahu kat mana nak go to. So I thought, so I partnered up with a partner of mine to come up with this Hira app. So why we choose Hira is like actually the Gua Hira, where Rasulullah first got his wahyu. So, and actually if you read properly, and I actually checked this with one of my partners is also Ustaz Zahil Zakaria. So he also told us actually when Rasulullah is at Gua Hira, he is actually feeling some pains. He's like feeling confused. He's meditating actually, because he wants to get himself out from the worldly affairs and macam be by himself, to just reflect, what is happening and everything. So meditation is a very sensitive word in our Islamic world lah. Tapi I wanted to go back to where it all started. So that's where Hira is where it started. So for my app, I wanted to make it easy for people to find what they need. So I actually and this was before ChatGPT actually. What happened is that I actually have an AI chatbot there that is trained according to the Quran, Hadith, Islamic psychological books, and mental wellness books basically. Essentially, if you say for example, I'm feeling depressed because I lost my job for example. Okay, then they will say, okay, first step, okay, dengar surah ni dulu. Okay, lepas tu, this is what you're going through. Okay, certain prophet also went through the same. Or in some cases, they say, okay, this is what you can do to elevate your iman. You know, I know this is a tough time. Okay, so basically, it tells you in step 1, 2, 3 what you can potentially do. Similarly, if they say, okay, I'm feeling very sluggish, macam I'm feeling weak. Macam mana, what kind of food should I eat? Okay, Rasulullah practice that you should have makan kurma, honey in the morning, macam gitu, you know. So basically, how to overcome some guidance lah. It's not like ultimate truth that people have to follow, but some guidance for people to access the resources that they need to overcome all the problems that they have also. And eventually, I mean, this is still the MVP version, but my vision is for it to understand you and really be like your friend, like your wellness friend. Like say for example, dia cakap, I'm feeling upset today and I don't know why. Then dia boleh cakap, actually last month you mentioned that you lost someone. I think it could have been related to this. You're showing symptoms of this, which could be evaluated by what are their symptoms, maybe sweaty palms or whatever. So I'm actually combining Islamic teachings with medical, with psychological frameworks, and then to inshallah make something better for the ummah lah. Yeah.
Okay, that's really interesting.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've not launched it. We just soft launch it, but inshallah, I hope to have it out there to more people as soon as possible. Yeah.
All right, and we're gonna put a link below so that you guys can have access to it and try it out yourself.
Can, and please give us all the feedback you
Yes.
can get, because you know the most important thing people do not know in tech is actually feedback is gathered every single time. So kalau you're in F&B okay, feedback tu is like you do survey ke orang cakap makanan you tak sedap ke tak. But it's actually in tech there is a footprint, digital footprint whenever you scroll over or whenever you click on something. So that is feedback on its own. So that is actually showing us what is it that you're interested in. So we do it all the time. It's called A/B testing. So just a quick snippet. Yeah, macam for example, what you see if the icon is blue or green, for example. So many people, you probably are the 50% that sees the green, and I'm probably the 50% that will see red. And then we will see which one has the better click-through and conversions before we choose the final colour. Wow. So yeah, that's in tech is fascinating because feedback is given at a statistically at a get-go. But what I actually would really appreciate is also the qualitative feedback. So what would you like further for Hira? Yeah.
Okay, I think that's really good. I should know that because I'm in tech. Come on,
yeah,
should be better. All right. So, do you mind just telling our listeners? Let's say our listeners have some great idea, but they don't know how to build an app. So, is there a way that like who do they go to? Because like you don't know how to code, right? So, but you know how to build an app, how to bring in the people, the right mindset, and everything, the right skill sets. So, do you mind just telling our listeners like how do I actually build an app? Is there some consultant to help me? Who do I reach out and all that stuff?
Well, actually, the first step when you want to build an app is you need to first understand what is the app about, or who's the objective. Does it really serve a real need? So now, actually, with AI, there's a lot of tools out there like Lovable, that just helps you to code. But it's really quite far-fetched actually still for someone who really don't know anything about this, right? So there is actually consultants out there that could guide you through this journey. Now there is those consultants that provide end-to-end services where they just they tell you where what is it that you need. They work with you on the UI UX. So UI UX is actually what you see on the app. It's the user interface and user journey. So there is usually a UI UX designer that designs, and then after that do a mock-up. After do a mock-up, you are happy with it, everyone is happy with it, your shareholders are happy with it, then you go to the tech build, right? And that's where you usually get a developer team to do it. In Singapore, there's a lot actually, but having said that, the cost is often a bit higher as opposed to if you get a developer that's from other markets. That is a fact because Singapore has such a high demand and whatnot, right? So I would recommend going for consultant to really understand first what is the product that you want, to really understand, bridge that need to the product, and then after that go for the developer. So for me also, I think I see this a lot when I speak to different people, you know, how do I build? Because actually apart from building, people think that okay, after you build an app, then your work is done. Okay, inshallah, everyone's gonna use it, everyone's gonna love it so much. But that's not true at all, you know. In fact, Muslim Pro, I just wanted to give you some context. There was like less than 1,000 downloads for the first year.
Oh.
So what you have to do is after you have an app, you have to know how to get the reach out there. And this includes things like search engine optimization. So search engine optimization is, for example, if you're a travel company, you want your app to be up there, right? You must make sure you dominate the travel word. So if you're a Muslim modest fashion company, you must make sure when people type halal dress or like long sleeve dress, Muslimah fashion, you have to dominate that search. So you have to work on the web search engine optimization, but also the app store optimization. So all this, there's different ways. Then you need to invest in paid advertising, so that, and paid advertising is beautiful in a sense that they can tell you exactly with every cost, this is the number of downloads you get. Okay, per download is how much for you, you know, all of these things, and which market and everything. So there's a lot of work to be done. So you need to find someone that can guide you through this, because honestly, getting the app out there is just 20% of the work done. 80% of the work is to get people to use it, download it first, then after that use it, then stay on it, and then remember you for every single time they want that product, they will go to your app and not other apps that's out there. Yeah, so there's so many things. But alhamdulillah, I saw that there was this gap. So I'm also now in the process of establishing, inshallah, my consultancy. So I've just established, and it's just been about a month old, I've just established my consultancy, M2M Digital. So M2M actually stands Muslim to Muslims actually. So I wanted to make it simple. So M2M, Muslims to Muslim, or by Muslim for Muslims, okay, whatever, right? But the objective is to help business out there, small or big, to get their market share in this whole ecosystem, right? So so feel free to go to find.
So we'll give the link below as well, so you can directly reach out to her team, or just reach out to me and I'll connect you properly. And I think it's good for you guys to like what she mentioned, because for someone who doesn't know a thing, like you just find your own developer, it may be too expensive for what you actually need. So having someone who really knows the market could help guide you, and also could also tell you like what is the mission of your app. Do you want to monetize it? Like how do you actually monetize your app as well? So Farah can help you, her team can help you on all of the things that you would want to get from that app. Now I'm just gonna ask a bit
I'm scared.
No, not yet. But because you were saying your company is M2M. What if someone who's not a Muslim who wants to engage you to build an app? Are they able to do so?
Of course. I mean, you know, my team is predominantly, not predominantly Muslims as what people would envision. Actually, it's a good mix. In Muslim Pro, we have over 20 over nationalities that's working, and not all of them are Muslims. In fact, 50% of them are not Muslims. I think Islam is an inclusive religion. It's not just about, you want to build for a Muslim, you have to be a Muslim, you know. So I think we usually evaluate based on the need, and also their skill set. But having said that, if a non-Muslim app wants to reach out, why not? But I have to say also that our specialty is really to cater to the Muslim market, which is really underserved right now.
So now to the to the tough questions. All right. First of all, I just want to get from your thoughts to get into that C-suite level, right? Especially to that CEO. It seems like from my experience, it has always been you have to go to the route of sales, because at the end of the day, a company needs to have profits in order for them to survive, right? Yeah. So from your perspective, what if someone wants to go to that route to one day be at a CEO level of a company, MNC or SME, whatever it is, right? Would it be better to be at a sales, or do you think that you can actually go from a support function?
I think that's a very good question. I mean, I don't know. I mean, when I started this journey, I didn't set out to be like the CEO,
Yeah.
you know. But Alhamdulillah, you went through that, and honestly, I grabbed every opportunity that is needed to get there. So I think the first and foremost, I wouldn't say is really specific to roles. I would say is your mindset to really never say no if an opportunity comes about. I've seen so many people when they were given a task, an extra task, or they were given, okay, do you want to take on this role? This role has been, this guy left, and can you assume his team and everything? I see so many times that the people, what they do first is, can I do it? I know, but I'm not trained, I'm from comms. I'm not in marketing, digital marketing. Why must I take on a digital marketing? So I think that is the first thing that shouldn't be done. You should...
Yeah.
I know there is a thing called imposter syndrome, but you can learn. There's a lot of ways in which you can learn at this point of time. I think you just need to have that confidence, and you need to learn to grab the opportunity as it goes along. Don't think about what if I cannot, what if I cannot. Okay, that's one. Secondly, I would also say that in terms of mindset also, I've seen a lot of people when they are given that opportunity, they will say, oh, so how much will I be paid?
Okay.
They say, kenapa? Why must I do that work? That's double the work, and what's my pay? It stays the same until end of the year review. Why do you do that? I think a lot of people don't realize that a lot of companies, they don't pay upfront for the work that's being done. They want you to prove themselves.
It's a lagging indicator, right?
Yes, as an indicator, they will give you that 3 to 6 months to prove yourself, and then they will give you that uplift, right? So I would say if you want to go up to the C-suite, this is the two mindset that you have to change first. I started off with a pay of 1,600, and it's okay. I take on whatever that is given to me, because for me it's an opportunity to learn and to just rise up faster. So that's one. But back to your question, if there is a specific role, I would say, honestly, you're right. Usually for CEO level, I'm not talking about other C-suites, I'm talking about CEO level.
Correct.
There is two kind of departments that usually go a bit more ahead. One would be not sales, I would say business development. So you are able to understand numbers, you are able to manage a P&L, you are able to get new businesses for the company and evaluate whether this business, is it just a revenue uplift, or is it a profitable one to your margin and everything. So you must understand that. And secondly, if you're not from business development, I would say the next person who understands this is the finance guy. So usually I see that for those who goes into the CEO level, they're usually either from business development or finance. And finance tends to top it up, actually. I mean, because they know how to play around with the numbers, right? They know how to, I mean, not in a bad way, but they know how to optimize, how to cut where it's needed, how everything. But often they need to have that business kind of mindset also. If not, they are very risk adverse also, right? So I would say these two would be the if you want to be a CEO, why don't you can start with this kind of journey.
I think most people don't really set their career that I want to be a CEO. It's just along the way.
But it also depends. Actually, now I think about it, if it's a tech company, the person who always become the CEO is also the
founder,
the CTO, the tech guy. Because he is able, but he must always have this able to bridge between the business versus the tech also.
Correct. So but that is because they are the founder. They create that thing, right? So So
yes,
basically,
but
they own
like,
the product. It's
but
just
like who Tim Cook, right? Tim Cook.
Tim Cook, yeah.
He's not the founder,
He's
but
not the
he
founder.
was a product guy.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
he was a product
No,
guy.
because the founder was the tech guy, right? So
yes. So then naturally, you thought
naturally-
the culture, yeah.
It's
Product first culture. Okay,
it's the same
okay.
with so where I come from. So I think a lot of people know that I work for Meta, right? So the founder is Mark, but he always have that idea that is the software engineers are the one
Yeah.
that's building the company. So he will
Yeah.
have that same mindset. I think it's all the tech founders, they have the
Yeah.
same mindset.
Yeah.
With that, gonna ask you a contentious question. In terms of compensation package at that level, obviously, different industry have different range. There's SME, MNCs, and all of that. But in terms of a compensation package, from where you are right now, are you able to at least give us a range of, if you're looking at a CEO for that particular size of company, like the compensation package, and what are the things that they need to look for if the next step is I'm going towards this direction? What are the things that I need to know?
Actually, there's no. Okay, so a normal when you're going up, right, in a corporate world, is usually two things. One is your salary, and then there is the bonus, right?
Yeah.
And bonus is usually 1 to 3 months.
Correct.
And then there is a 13-month and everything in Singapore. But as a CEO, your responsibilities are usually a bit different. So they usually tend to add in another element. So apart from your salary, they will also have a bonus scheme, and this is usually very much tied to the performance of the company. But apart from that, depending on the type of company, whether it's publicly listed or whether it's a SME or is privately owned, or all of this, there's different ways. They will also give you either ESOP. So ESOP, what is ESOP? ESOP is actually shares, basically, employee share scheme. So essentially, it means that you own a part of the company. So if the company prospers, if the valuation of the company prospers, you will also your shares number will also grow. So that's why sometimes you hear, they say, Elon Musk is a richest man, and then suddenly he is no longer the richest man. He's the second richest. It's because of his shares, right? His shares, depending on if he's on a high or if he's on a low, he will be valuated based on that. So so usually for a C-suite, it really depends on multiple factors. And it also really depends on if the company is profitable or not.
Yeah.
If the company is still growing but it's not profitable, then you might see the shareholders are also willing to compensate the CEO based on what? Is it that they say, okay, I don't mind not being profitable, but I want my company to be valuated at 200 million, 300 million. So they are chasing valuation, right? So then they will give you a share based on that KPI. But if they are saying, okay, no, I don't care about 100 million or 200 million revenue. What I want is 20 or 30 million profit. Okay, then your shares will be subjected to the KPI of whether your company hits the profit or not and everything. So usually a CEO compensation is made up of salary, bonus, sometimes dividends, and ESOP shares, which you can only divest when the company is being sold or listed and everything. So but in terms of quantitative number, usually it's about 300k to 500,000. Usually is the whole package for an SME kind of CEO, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's really a lot. So, which I can be a CEO. So, all right. So last thing, I know we're almost out of time. I'm enjoying this conversation. I do have a lot of things I wanna say as well, but I know you're really busy. But could you just give us golden nuggets to leave our listeners with some memorable or actionable takeaways? I think it'd be good for you to just share with our listeners, like you are running a company, you are juggling motherhood, 3 kids, right? 3 kids, and one of her daughter is sick right now, so I feel bad that she made a trip for this podcast, and you have a lot of the other things that you're doing as well. So how do you do it? Do you mind just sharing that golden nuggets to our listeners?
Actually, that's a, a very good question. Actually, I do not know how I do it. Honestly, I just don't think about it. That when you lay it down like that, it seems a lot, right?
It
But
is a lot. I'm just amazed. Like
but it
I feel
seems
I could do better.
no, it seems a lot. But honestly, it's just that mindset of never saying no to an opportunity, right? So for me, I believe that, and as a woman, actually, I would like to really also speak out, speak to the women also out there. I think as a woman, there's a lot of factors that usually make it very easy for us to say, oh tak boleh, because of course my child is sick, you know, or like she's a baby, you cannot leave her and everything. But for me, I've always had this mindset that I don't want to be known. I think this is just me, not everyone is different. But for me, I've always, coming into marriage, I told my husband, I said, I don't want to be known as just your wife or a mother, you know. For me, I've built my career for so long, and I'm more than that. So I want to show to my kids also that I can be a mother, I can be a wife, I can also be a corporate, or I can be a business woman and everything. So with that, I'm always driven to, if there is an opportunity, I will always say yes and make it work. And I got to say it's really difficult because then you don't have much sleep. I have been bringing my kids to all my conferences, to all my meetings all over the world, you know, and this is not easy with 3 kids. So usually it requires a lot of support. Like for me, I have support of my husband. He goes with me for some of the events. I still remember after Hilia, my third one, I had to speak at Cannes in France.
Yeah.
After 1 month, so I said, okay, it's okay, let's just go and then make it a family holiday also. So then I brought my sister, my husband, and the 3 kids, because there must always be someone that takes care of them, right? So it's always like that. So sometimes I bring my helper, sometimes I bring my sister, sometimes I bring my mother to help. So I think it's a whole support system. You need to have really supportive family, supportive mothers. My in-laws, my mom is all super supportive. Never once do I hear them say, besok nak pergi meeting, you know, but your kids are sick. No, they were like, you don't worry, we have your back, you know, it's okay, she's gonna be okay, or let's just bring her, it's okay, bring all the medicine, you know, this kind of things. So I think is never saying no to opportunities. And then I really am a strong believer that if you believe you can, inshallah, the whole universe will help you with it. So somehow it will path your way because you believe first that you can, you know. So you visualize it, and I think it will happen for you. So that's how it is lah so far. Inshallah, it's been working, and I hope that I can continue to say it has worked for me in the next 10 years or so. Yeah.
All right, that is a good good advice for our listeners, and I think the key takeaway is to have a good supporting support system so that you can focus on your career, and also like have the mindset, have the vision to just have the grit to just keep trying and try to achieve your goal. And I think a lot. I'm seeing the same theme as well with a lot of the leaders that I've known and I've interviewed as well, is they always have that grit in them to, it's like impossible, but they just keep on trying, and inshallah, like because
it will open up.
You will open up somehow, right?
Yeah, it's really odd. I mean, I also sometimes like, mashallah, you know, how did this happen? Whereas actually, I always felt, oh my god, tak boleh lah macam, tapi tak apa, let's just buat aja while we can, you know, buat what we can do. And then somehow it will open up. So I'm really a strong believer that if you believe in it, the whole universe or somehow it will work for you. But you must believe in it first. You must visualize it and you must believe in it first. Yeah.
Yes. So I really want to thank you so much for your time here. I know I promised you like, you know, half an hour, but we are almost close to an hour. So I really enjoy our conversation here. So thank you very much. Yeah. And to all of the listeners out there, thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, like, share, and please comment. Like what Farah say, feedback is a gift. So I would like to know like what are things that you would want to know so that I can interview people to help you in your career. So with that, thank you very much, and always stay curious and keep chasing your goal. Thank you.